Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to Butchery 101. I'm Christina Glenoga, and today we're going over my top 5 favorite videos of 2021 while also doing a channel update. These videos are roughly in chronological order starting in January of 2021, but otherwise are in no particular order. That is to say that they're all great, so give them all a watch. Number 1. Patreon exclusive livestream Knife Talk. Wow, it's so lo-fi. Not that my live streams these days are super sleek by any means, but certainly have improved. Like, oh my gosh, the camera shakes, what the heck? How did I even do that? But you can clearly see the nearly blank wall behind me. We had just moved into our new place and nothing was set up. So I'm really glad for the practice, and the info here about knives is super legit. I'm still grappling with the fact that this pandemic and definitely 2021 have done quite a number on me and my career. I'm fortunate and privileged in so many ways, so I try not to highlight the ways in which I did face major disruption, but a portion of folks who follow me on Instagram know that I was living with COVID deniers in 2020, and after 6 months of that, in December of 2020, my partner and I took advantage of our housemate's travel time and moved out of that house into a place of our own where we could be much safer and have much more agency. It's more that we really wanted to, and still do, adhere to as many of the pandemic safety protocols as possible. But our old roommates did not care about slowing the spread or ending the pandemic, and largely just wanted to ignore it and, quote, move on with their lives. Yes, they were definitely those people. We moved to a completely different city, still in the same county, but definitely had to rebuild pretty much all of our personal infrastructure. Luckily, this area has essentials like grocery stores that offer curbside pickup, and honestly, a really great food scene for takeout. Haha, which yes, most of my essentials are in fact food related. And there was a lot more going on with our old housemates, including a lot of casual racism, sexism, and ageism, plus our landlord required us to find replacements even though those housemates had assured us that they would do it. So just like a lot of mid-level injustice going on that has weighed on me heavily over the last year or so, but nothing super severe certainly, and just like a lot of mild stuff. And so all the while I was trying to get this channel off the ground, finding new sources for meat and places to store it and camera equipment, all that jazz. Number 2, Chicken 101 Butchery Tutorial. Oh my god, the intro is so weird and jerky. This is definitely a certain phase of my lighting and editing learning journey. But after I put up this video, I started making TikToks and Reels from this footage, and that really gave me a ton of practice in Premiere Pro, for which I am super grateful. TikToks, by the way, are available via the link below. I'm also learning as a small business owner and freelancer that I will get pulled in many different directions. People will get in touch with offers and ideas and mostly the best of intentions, but sometimes that goodwill just doesn't actually forward my business or mission. And it's taken me a lot of time and emotional/mental struggle to really hone in on this phenomenon. Like, I had so many moments of overwhelm and frustration and confusion that largely didn't contribute much to Butchery 101. I had heard the learn to say no advice before, but it's truly so important. I'm working on saying no earlier in the conversation, and accepting that when I say no, it's no for me and totally fine if others are able to move forward with that same opportunity. Like, it's a no for me, but best of luck with y'all. Best of luck to y'all with your work. So yeah, between all these distractions, derailments, disruptions, etc., I was still putting up content on this channel that admittedly was all over the place. Like, I loved all of it, and it super duper makes me happy to see it. To see these live streams about dry aging and farming content and tutorials and stuff. I'm also really proud of the cinematography and editing that I've learned to do. And honestly, even as recently as last week, I hit a stride in Premiere Pro that I am so stoked on. Like, it's seriously the most basic shit, but as someone who is learning a new trade and career, I'm learning to really enjoy the moments of progress because there are so many more moments of other emotions. And I'm also really proud of the whole pig series I've been doing lately. This was actually a pivot that came out of one of those aforementioned well-intentioned but ill-fated partnerships I mentioned earlier. I won't go into the details much here, maybe in a future video about freelancing, but ultimately a project fell through and I was left holding the bag for the expense and responsibility of an order of a whole pig with no venue and no outlet for it aside from my own kitchen. However, again, although I do love that stuff, I do realize that content was like really esoteric, as are many of my butchery videos. And while I am proud of that stuff and do love to see butchery content and videos about meat specifically, featuring meat, my main goal with this channel and Butchery 101 in general is to provide an educational service to most people to improve their meat choosing, buying, cooking, and eating experiences. And ultimately, I don't think that was necessarily the best way to go about it. Number 3, response to the New York Times toxic restaurant expose, advice/next steps for good apples. Wow, this one was so raw and real. I'm so proud as a former journalism student of this kind of content because it's the kind of truth-telling that I have always wanted to do, especially because it was such a personally relatable subject for me as a former restaurant worker who idealized not just this particular restaurant at some point, which I certainly did, but also the system in general. Like, I hella bought into the system that created that stuff and didn't really understand that the abuses that I deemed normal or a badge of honor even were actually like really fucked up. And I have a couple other videos in this same vein, covering news about June Baby, Belcampo, JBS, and Fleischers that I'll try to link in the description below. But if I forget to do it, y'all just drop me a comment and I'll pop them in there. So I'm not going to stop doing the tutorials completely. The more visceral, hands-on tutorial stuff might actually find a home on Patreon, which if you want, you can go ahead and join us via the link in the description below. But I want to focus more on bringing y'all more actionable / conceptual info, which will come in the form of more academic concepts in video essays. So here's the general upload schedule I'm going to attempt in January. Most weeks, the video will be a talking head, informative video with subjects like how to save money but still eat good meat, or how to waste less meat. Once or twice a month, there might be a video that showcases experiences or tutorials, kind of a wild card week. Hopefully this doesn't confuse the algorithm or any of y'all too much, and I do hope that this new format serves y'all better and that you stick around. I'd really like to grow this channel, reach more people, and improve the meat industry that way. If you're not subscribed already and you're curious about meat, subscribe now and maybe pop a like on here if you want to see more stuff like this. Also, do join us on Patreon if you want to get fuller access to practical content. Hopefully I can maintain this schedule into February, but we'll see. Number 4, how to find a secret steak, the butcher's ribeye. The video wherein I come out as a medium well steak eater. This is a safe space, okay? But more importantly, this is the kind of meat hack that I really want to bring more of to y'all. Because seriously, there are so many cool ways to cook and eat meat that require just a little bit more knowledge, but are so good, save you money, honor the entire animal, and are genuinely super duper worth the effort. Number 5, dinner at Archipelago Restaurant, Filipino fine dining in Seattle. One of the best moments from 2021 was the dinner I had at Archipelago. In the video, I talk a lot about how meaningful the entire experience was and how, and now at the end of 2021, with the panorama ramping up again because of Omicron, I'm so grateful that I had this tiny sliver of a window of time when it was relatively safe to dine in a restaurant like this. For all of us in the restaurant, the staff and guests included, to have been fully vaccinated, the staff generously spending all of their time in masks for us and putting up these plexiglass walls. Looking back, I just think this video is an even more wonderful time capsule of that glorious moment. Thanks again so much for the great year, y'all. Huge thanks, especially to the Patreons who helped make this happen, and I really do hope to see y'all again soon for another episode of Butchery 101. Bye!